Thank you for looking into the Multiple Errands Test Home version, or the MET Home. The MET Home was recently developed recognizing there was a need for such a tool to support the assessment of adults with underlying executive dysfunction that can be challenging to assess. For instance, somebody with so-called mild stroke may be able to walk and talk and be seemingly fine, but face a lot of challenges when they're trying to return to their roles and routines in the community and in the home because of possibly underlying executive dysfunction. And this may or may not have been captured across the care continuum for several different reasons. Practitioners often rely on using different types of assessments to examine executive dysfunction, and one of those approaches would be using paper and pencil type tests. These tend to focus primarily on the level of impairment and less on how that executive dysfunction can influence performance in the real world. The MET Home provides objective approach for assessing how executive dysfunction manifests during everyday life in the home environment. And aside from the test itself and the clipboard that the test is adhered to, there really aren't any other materials needed since your client's using items that they find in their home to complete the task list. So not only can the assessment help with the identification of performance problems, but it can also support intervention planning by bringing to light how environmental and contextual factors can support or hinder performance, and even how self-generated strategies are used and how this information can be used to help maximize their own performance. This can be particularly helpful not only when developing interventions, but also when you're thinking about making recommendations and what types of supports are needed within the home to support maybe returning home or staying living at home, or just whatever might be needed to support functioning within the home. I'm thrilled that you're interested in considering using the MET Home. Please take a look around our website. There you'll find access to training videos, all of the forms for administering the assessment, which are free and publicly available, and research articles that are not only related to the MET Home, but also various versions of the Multiple Errands test. If you do use the tool, I'd greatly appreciate it if you share some of the data that you collect, de-identified of course, when you're working with clients. This will help us continue to improve the tool and study its use across different regions and populations. You will find a Google form where you can upload an Excel file, which was made available to you on our website, that can provide that information to us. But that Excel file can also be used to help you score the assessment and relay any of that information that you find to your client, their caregivers or care partners and families, and even different disciplines, stakeholders, or people working with your client to communicate what you found. I would also appreciate it if you take the time to fill out a brief 3-question survey just to help us track the use of the MET Home and see who's using the test. Anyways, please contact me if you have any questions, and thank you.